from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Stay tuned with Millennium TV and Millennium News 24 for the latest updates.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? This is your host, Jineea Butler, today on a remote day, Sunday. And so today we're going to start our Sundays on the group. We're getting on the group. There's so much to talk about here in America, and we've got to talk about it. And this is on the group with Jineea. So I'm inviting you all to come in. So come in, come on, come all, come in. Welcome to the group. And today we're going to talk about culture, not the surface level stuff, but the real root of who we are, what we tolerate, what we glorify, and what we need to correct if we want a different future. Okay? Because let's be honest, our culture is powerful, but it's hurting. It's creative, but it's confused. It's loud, but it's not always grounded. So on the group, that's what we're going to be talking about here. And if we don't reset the culture 2026, then nothing else changes. Not politics, not the economy, not our neighborhoods, most importantly, our neighborhoods, right? And here we go. So today, I wanted to introduce you to me. I wanted you to get to know me a little better. I know that if you tune in every Wednesday at 1, we talk the New American perspective. And I didn't want to just go in and start talking about news and giving you more news when there's more to give. And we've got more to do here on Millennium News 24. Right? We've got so much more to do. Our numbers are up. So thank you all for anyone that hears, anyone that's listening. Thank you for tuning in. We thank you at Millennium News 24. I thank you from the New American. I thank you from the Butler gang. And now I'm thanking you from the group. Okay, so let me just talk to you about the truth about our culture. Okay, because, and I'm talking about Black, brown, yellow, our culture, American culture, international culture. Let's talk about it. Tell me what's happening in your country. We've replaced leadership with likes. Well, right? We've let social media raise our kids. Right? Pain become entertainment. Right? Because we're watching people die. We're watching people get hurt online and we're laughing about it. We've let social media raise our kids. We normalize trauma at this point. We confuse fame with influence. Because now everybody that has 10,000 likes is a celebrity. So now what is a celebrity? That's what we really need to know and understand. What is a celebrity? We abandoned discipline. We lost intergenerational wisdom. We celebrate dysfunction more than development. And I think that's a crazy part. We've got so many issues and stuff going on. It's like, what are we talking about? Our families are fragmented. We don't care about family anymore. Are you sitting around at the table with your kids? Are you sitting around at the table with your husband? Well, culture is the new software. If the code is broken, the whole system crashes. Hear me? We can't demand excellence from our leaders when we tolerate chaos in our culture. Our communities can't elevate if our value keeps sinking. And, we beg to differ because we've got a whole bunch of people running around with jewelry and all this stuff, and they look good. But then when you go to the numbers and you see that our median income is still less than $36,000 a year, you not faking nothing. Yeah, we may make money under the table. We make money here and there, but we got to get on the books, and we've got to be like Asian smart. We've got to be Black and brown smart, the smartest in the world. Why not? We are the smartest in the world, but we don't utilize that. We just take that for granted. We're the most athletic, right? You know, people coming behind. The European is making the Dirk Nowinskis and the Wagner, what's his name? The 19-foot guy in the NBA right now. You know, so we have to look at what we're going to do in America going forward. 2025, people, is 31 days away. 2026 is 31 days away. And it's time for an urban reset. And it starts with you. It starts here, and it starts today here on the group. I was about to say here on the New American Perspective, but we're on the group. So let's everybody come in. I'm giving you a chance to come in and get on the group with us, and so we can talk about it, right? And so we've got things to talk about. And I want to introduce you more to myself today because, you know, I talk politics and things like that, but I started out in social work. And I started out getting to know the community that I'm serving. And I think that I know them very well. I've opened up a lot of doors for the community. I've made sure things have happened for our community. And I'm proud of that. But we've got more work to do. Let me start by saying shout out to Pastor Jamal Bryant of New Birth Church in Georgia. And their mission, they are now doing the Target boycott, and it's going well. I thought that I should let you know that. So on Black Friday, you know, everybody is blocking the doors to anybody Black. The Black Patrol is out. The Black Patrol is out. And I'm never saying that the Black Patrol is not necessary, right? It's just that the Black Patrol gets beside itself. But they do great things. And we need the Black Patrol. Don't get me wrong. We need the Black Patrol. So the Black Patrol is on patrol in DC and Georgia. And they were blocking the doors to the Target to any Black person that walked in. And I just feel like, okay, we're talking about Black dollars and everything like that. And it's happening. Pastor Jamal Bryant said their stock, when they started 37 weeks ago, was $145. And now it's down to 83. So it works, and it's working. And Target is not coming to the table anytime soon. I don't know what their thought process is, what they're going to do going forward. But Black Friday, congratulations, good people. We made a dent. But they also said that online shopping this year, little suckers out there, they said online shopping this year was up kind of crazy. It was the highest ever. And I don't think that they can do online shopping and get record numbers without us. You know what I hate about, the whole boycott and the holidays is because you get the best prices during the holidays. And it's a shame that we got to go and say, don't get the best price for the things that you've been wanting all year and everything like that. It's a shame, and it's kind of a setup because then we end up going afterwards and paying, way more than, the price. The cheap price, the Black Friday price, because we're boycotting, because people don't respect our money, but they don't. And I'm with the boycott because people don't respect our money. If you don't know, Target They started out, they had a huge DEI program where Black entrepreneurs were able to put their products in Target and sell their products throughout the targets around the country. And then Trump came in, and nobody wants, just in defense of Target for a half a second, nobody wants no Trump drama on top of their head. But do you want that Black drama? Because the Black patrol is out. Okay. And I'm sure that if you rolled up to the Target and you seen them and you're Black, now when you go into Target, you feel crazy, because even the people looking at you like, the people in the store looking at you like, what you doing in here? Did I just tell on myself? I went in there one time during the 37 weeks before it started. Okay. It was before it started. I went one time because they were the only people that had what I had. But so again, this is our dilemma. So we can't demand excellence from our leaders when we tolerate chaos in the culture. And that's essentially what we're doing, right? We are now coming together to say, respect our dollar. Bottom line, the dollar is green. We may be Black, the person giving it to you, but that dollar is green, and we want to be treated like anybody else. We probably worked harder than a whole bunch of people to get that dollar, right? Our communities can't elevate if our value keeps sinking. Now we know that. Okay. So the influencers, the kids follow. Okay. Here's some rap beef overshadowing real issues. All of this is going on. And so we've got our kids out here, adults arguing like it seems like they're the young people, right? The adults, right? No balance between entertainment and education, the rise of clout chasing behavior, right? And so we see all of this every day on our TV screen, and this is being fed to us, and we are okay with that. But are we really okay with that? That's the real question at hand. Are we okay with that? So there's a little rap beef going on. Did you hear about Max B, who spent 15 or 16 years in prison? He originally got a 75-year sentence from participating in a murder for hire crime. He wasn't at the scene of the crime, but somebody died. He did his 16 years. He was part of Dipset. Maybe you know them, with Jim Jones and Cameron in Harlem. They're from Harlem. So Max B came home a few weeks ago, and they call him the Wave. And he came home to a beautiful, coming home and parties, and everybody celebrated him and everything like that. And, some people had mixed mindsets about it. Some people were saying, why are we celebrating this guy that just went to jail for 16 years? Now, the hip hop community definitely celebrates prison and things like that. When I was on Rikers Island, I did a study of the correlation between jail and prison. And there's a strong correlation, but most of the rappers that we see nowadays haven't gone to jail. So they get the homeboys coming home from prison to hang around them and beef them up and everything like that. And Jim Jones, he's never been to jail, but he's King Blood in Harlem. They say that he wasn't even jumped in. He's like an honorary blood. You know how they give you the honorary degree? I think Jim Jones is like an honorary blood. And so Max B came home. Now Funk Flex did something really, really, Funk Master Flex on Hot 97. They had a party somewhere, and they played this diss record. They played this diss record for on behalf of Max B. On behalf of Max B to Jim Jones, saying that Max B messed with Jim Jones' fiance, Chrissy. And we don't know the details. He touched it in Miami. And Funk Master Flex, who's supposed to be a keeper of the culture, played the song. And it says Jimmy mad because Chrissy touched it in Miami. Names and everything. Names and everything. So what do you think about that? Do you think that our culture is going in the right direction? We know that hip hop is very powerful. We know what hip hop can do. Why aren't we doing it? At this point, we don't have a choice or we get left behind. Everybody is at the starting line right now, and they've already said go. We're already 5 steps behind. Now we have to catch up again. Now we're fast enough to catch up, but are we going to run this race or play in the background? Let's talk about it when we come back here on Millennium News 24 here on the group with Jineea. Oops. And we are back. I don't see you. Maybe you see me. And we are back with On the Group with Jineea. And we're talking culture. We're talking everything our community today. Okay. So before we go any further, I want to talk about something that foundational, my book. So my book, you see it in the background, my book, Follow the Leader, will be out 2026. Long time coming. So this book is special to me. It'll be my first published book. And this is a compilation of articles that I did for Black Press USA from 2012 to 2016, organizing the culture. And the reason why it's called Follow the Leader, because everybody is following the leader, and that leader happens to be me for right now. Okay, I wrote this because I kept seeing the same cycles. Now, the book, again, and it's centered around 2012 to 2016. All the articles that I wrote about our community and what our community needed to do. And basically, the update is how the community responded and how we are doing now, which is great because we are doing very well. And I bet on the community, and the community backed me up. So thank you. I appreciate that. So now, kids following the wrong influences. Okay, so we see out here Krishan Rock and Blueface, another rapper that got out of jail. They put all the rappers in jail to make sure that we understand what culture they come from, right? All the rappers in jail. So Blueface had a son with Krishan. Now, Krishan's son is visibly disabled. Okay, he's not talking. He may be 2 or 3 years old. He's not walking. He's just kind of rocking back and forth and going along with the ride. So Krishan is trying to carry this baby everywhere with her to a party and everything like that. But she knows in her heart why this baby is disabled. And we watched her have this baby. We watched them. We publicized this. So my question to you is, if the media outlets didn't publicize and didn't follow Blueface and Krishan Rock around for 2 years, would this baby be in the condition that this baby is in? Real talk. Okay? This is what we've got to be real about. The part that we play. We play a part in everything that we do. Kids following the wrong influences. So now, how many young girls are going to follow Krishan Rock and say, I can drink? She's on live. I can drink, I could just abort the baby. I can drink while I'm pregnant. Well, she got the reality, ladies and gentlemen, that she was looking for. And now she has a child. And now she's saying, oh, I wish I didn't have this child, because she's mad that now she held on to this baby until Blueface got out of jail, hoping that they could, be happily ever after, because she knows deep down in her heart, she done been with too many men. And I know that she hopes that her baby father, I'm sure that any woman that has a baby, she hopes that she's going to stay with that baby father. That's why she had the baby. But ladies, that's not how this is going to work. That's not what's going to help you, ladies. Okay, chasing behind these men that are not ready to have children, and they're ready to, okay, well, maybe they are ready to have children. They're just not ready to get married to you. They want your good looks. They want the baby. And then once they have the baby, they're done with you. You notice that every time that we see this whole love affair, until people have the baby, and then they're broken up because of the baby. By the time the girl didn't even get over postpartum, right? So we have kids following the wrong influences. These are our kids. So what are we doing? So everybody wants clickbait because they're making money, and people that want the weirdo stuff because they're going to do the weirdo stuff. Krishana's running around with her tooth out because she wants to make money. How does that work? Okay. Women and men struggling to find identity. And that's where we really are, people. Our women and men are struggling to find identity, and they're running around acting like they got it. Running around acting like you got it going on. Running around like this is okay. And we've got to stop and be real about ourselves. This is the urban reset. We've got to be real and true to ourselves. When is the last time that you did a G check on yourself and seeing if that you were true with yourself? When is the last time you did that? Because I don't think that you've done it. Because the way that people are going right now, the way that they are acting right now, I don't think they're G-checking themselves. And then communities repeating the trauma. So let me tell you a little story about when I worked over at the Boys and Girls Club. So the Boys and Girls Club, and most Boys and Girls Clubs around the country, are in neighborhoods that are low income neighborhoods where kids need somewhere to go. And it's great because it's their way out, right? So I worked at this Boys and Girls Club, and over the years, I saw many, many people lose their friends and lose lives, right? So these young kids that are up to 18 years old, I want to say that I was there for 2 years, and I saw at least 10 kids die or heard about, at least. And I'm saying that lightly. I'm talking about where kids saw their friends and their friends' parents get shot in the head in front of them. And, so we are repeating this trauma. So we talk about, why are there killers? Why did we just see at a kids party 4 people dead, a mass shooting? Why did we just see that? Why are we hearing about that? How is that possible? It's possible because these kids that we're referring to are kids that saw this stuff when they were young, that made their heart cold, that when they've seen the death and their pain and they don't go to therapy, they're not like the 911 kids still in therapy 30 years later. They're not like them. They don't get therapy. They're wiped under the table. Oh, that's too bad. I'm so sorry. Because it's normal. So if it's normal for guns and people to get shot and people to get stray bullets, then I'm going to become a piece of that. So we have to reset and stop that. We have to care enough about one another. Now, the problem is the kids that lost their brother, that gotta forever, I will avenge my brother's murder, right? Those kids, because those kids are out there. We've got to grab a hold of them. We've got to show them the right way. And this is why we have to focus on education and focus on being smart. So I need all my celebrities. I need all my bigwigs. I need anybody that is hearing my voice right now to dedicate their time to a young person and to loving on a young person and showing them a different way. Like we had, again, bring up Jim Jones. You got Hocus 4/5 in the Bronx. He put down his flag. Now, a lot of people don't like the term dropping your flag, but he dropped his flag because he saw how the things that he is doing is hurting other people, other kids. So he put down his flag. Then Jim Jones goes, oh, now I'm not putting down my flag. I don't think that he has to put down his flag. Jim is talking about I'm a leader and I can't put down my flag. I mean, what are we saying? So we're saying that you're condoning some more kids to die? Some more kids to misunderstand what this gang thing is? Is that what you're saying when you won't put down your flag? I understand the code of the street, and I understand that, you know, they'll hurt you for putting down your flag. But we're hurting ourselves when you keep it on. So we got a lot to think about there, right, people? Okay, so politics manipulating our culture. So the good thing is, back in I think it was like 2012, one of Reverend Jackson's former workers, Frank Watkins, he passed away. Rest in peace, Frank Watkins, with Reverend Jesse Jackson and the Rainbow Push. He was his political consultant. He told me, physically out of his mouth on the phone, Jineea, look, if you don't get into politics, then your lifestyles will never change. What? If we don't get into politics, our lifestyles will never change. Wow. Okay. That's crazy. So that's when I started taking politics very, very seriously. Okay. Because I was like, what? What do you mean if we don't get into politics? It's truth. And something came up. So he told me about how every 10 years you can redistrict the gerrymandering that's going on right now. And he said, it's simple. He said, if we're not prepared, and if we're not, every 10 years, you get to redistrict. And if we're always off course because we're not in power to do the redistricting, and we're not paying attention to what's going on. And I know that politics is not a new bill that we need. I know that politics is not, something new that we need to learn, right? But it is. We've got plenty of other stuff going on, but take something off of your plate and pay attention to what's going on around you, because your kids in our world will be affected. That's a fact. Okay? So leaders leading people nowhere. So do we have or do we need leaders at this point? Now, the Black Patrol is out there and they're leading, okay? The Black Patrol, they're on target, and, they're taking down the corporation, the Target Corporation. You will not be selling to Black people. You better figure out who else to sell to, because you will not be selling to Black people, because even the taste that's in our mouths, we don't go there. We'll figure it out, find it somewhere else before we go into Target. Now, maybe I want to see them Target online sales. Maybe we sneaking in there and online in it, but we're not going through the front door. So is this the end of Target as we know it? As for Black people, it is. Okay. So my book, Follow the Leader, see it up there, ask the real question: who are you following? Now, y'all all would like to say that you're not following me, right? You'll say that, right? You'll say that out your mouth. But sorry, my work speaks for itself. You don't have to tell me that you're following me for me to know that you're following me. And that's what this is about. Who are we talking to? Who's our leader? Right? Reverend Jackson has been our leader for years on end, right? We followed him. Reverend Sharpton, he's got a group that he leads. I guess everybody's kind of got a little group. I had a friend, look him up, Thornton J. Meacham Jr. He was 92 when he passed away in 2009. And I asked him, I said, Mr. Meacham, I said, were we ever together as a community? What do you think he said? Well, we'll be right back here on Millennium News 24, and I'll tell you what he said. And we are back on the group with Jineea, our new talk show about you, about talking about what's going on with us in a place where we can focus on our stuff. So now I just, if you weren't with us through the break, I just talked about my friend Thornton J. Meacham Jr., who was the first Black practicing attorney out of Fordham Law School. He's the first Black man to graduate Fordham School of Law, 1942. My friend, Mr. Meacham. And he also was Miles Davis and did a lot of the early civil rights cases. And he was the oldest practicing attorney at 90. He was practicing at 90, still doing his thing. So what did he tell me when I asked him, were we ever together as a community? Now, I got a chance to ask the man who almost did 100 years in 2009. Were we ever together? Guess what he said? He said no. Everybody always, this one was popping up with something, and this one was popping up with something, and they couldn't come to the same agenda. Everybody had another way. And I think that we need to be creative. I think it's not one track. I think that we need to accept everybody, but see, everybody wants to be important in our community. And we all are genius. And I think that's where we miss out, is that we are genius. We come from a bloodline of genius. The foundational Black Americans in this country are foundational from the people. These are the people who survived. So you have a group of real survivors that survived through the atrocities of slavery, of coming across, and even Native Americans, as we're celebrating Thanksgiving, the massacre of the Indians. We are from the people who survived. Now, it's a whole conversation that we should talk about. We should get on the group and talk about, the first generation and second generation Black folks that's come over here and feels though that their plight is the same as the plight of the foundational Black America, and that we should just band together. I think that we should accept our differences, just like we do white and Black, accept where you come from, build on what each other is, but don't try to, like I had a problem with former Vice President Kamala Harris always saying that she was a Black woman. I mean, I get that, she got a little color tone going on, but she's not a Black woman as she's referring to it. She's pulling from it. And, when she goes home, she's Southeast Asian, that little bit of black, that drop of black. Come on now. We have to stop fooling ourselves. I could almost cry at the things that are going on because we have to stop playing games with ourselves. So my Follow the Leader book, I hope that you pre-order when we do pre-orders. My Follow the Leader book, that'll be out 2026. Some of the topics that I have are leadership versus followership. So who's leading and who's following? In order to be a great leader, what do you have to do? You have to be able to be a great follower. Now, I don't think that the people out here, now, what I think is, let me say this. What I think is that, the introduction of Big Brother and Survivor has put in a whole new mentality purposely for us. That mentality that says, kill or be killed, that I'm going to be your friend. I'm going to fake be your friend until we get to the top. And then it's me and you. And then I'm going to cut your head off and I'm going to take the weakest link with me. Let's get rid of the strong person early because the strong person is going to win. I think all of those mentalities are where we are today. And I think this is why we are where we are today. It's because of shows like that where we're not understanding where we should be as a community and working together, right? I think that we should throw things like that out. So the psychology of influence. This is a topic we talk about in my book. So we see somebody, they've got a following. Now, forget about it. If you meet somebody and their LinkedIn or their social media is not right, people are like, ew, who are you? Who could you be if your social media imprint is not that? That's how they're judging you now, is on your social media imprint. Now, we can't change that, right? Because it's only going to get worse as time goes. We can't change that part. But what we can do is we can up our ante. We can focus on putting ourselves in perspective. Emotional trauma in the Black culture. Now, this is a serious thing, people. Okay? Emotional trauma. I think that, the hip hop dilemma, the urban dilemma, whatever you want to call it, the common distasteful, physical, emotional, or mental trauma that people get when coming in contact with the culture. And what that means is that, people that see us, let's say we go to Walmart, you walk up to the cash register at Walmart to check out. What are they thinking? They about to steal something. That's the urban dilemma, right? So it's a physical, emotional, or mental trauma that people experience naturally. And I think that is being put in them when you see shows like The Real Housewives of Atlanta. You see what's going on out there. They started out real, they real hot and, they all married up. Here go the rich of Atlanta. And, in Atlanta, you could buy a $10 million house for $250,000. So they was doing it. So they might have had a $2 million house and the spread off the hook on top of a hill, all kinds of stuff. Looks good. But a lot of them went to jail. Tax fraud, trying to keep up with the Joneses. And then now they're also trying to keep up by the ladies are now with other women. You've got Portia. I don't know what her last name is now. She didn't got married so many times. You got Portia. I think her name is Williams. She's with a woman, celebrated her birthday today or yesterday. You got Candy Burris. I think her name is Burris. She's now with a woman, and we're finding out that she was shacking with her husband and their living girlfriend, and now she done took the living girlfriend as her own. But there's kids in the house. So what are we talking about? There's kids in the house. I don't understand. So there's kids in the house and we don't care. Just remember, Snoop Dogg just got in trouble and had to apologize, and he's doing a gay reading or something for the babies because he said, why are there gay references in cartoons? Oh no, they came for him. So am I supposed to allow my child to just freelance and take whatever you tell the child and go with it and say, oh, well, now this child is gay and I should accept it. And it's nothing to do with influence. It's nothing to do with anything. It's nothing to do with that. What it is that there's a lot of LGBT community people that are in high places. That's why they made Snoop Dogg bow down like that. We saw how quick, and Snoop is powerful. Snoop was at the Olympics and everything, but he bowed down quick. They told him bow down, and he did quickly. So the culture discussion, it's all in Follow the Leader, and it's a great book, and I'd rather you listen to the book than you read it, because I think that they're powerful tools that I wrote back in 2012, and then I wrote now in 2025 that you will be empowered by it. It talks about how we think, it talks about how we behave, it talks about how we choose, it talks about how we build, and how we break cycles. So thank you. I want a Pulitzer Prize for it. Okay, by the way, I mean that's just what I want, but whatever comes of that, I'm with. Okay. The urban reset is not about politics. I want to be clear about that. It is not about politics. It's psychology. Okay, it's culture, it's identity, it's family structure, it's values, it's how we treat each other. Okay, it's how we raise our children, it's what we glorify, it's how and why we survive. Remember, we are from the bloodline of those who survived, and it is our job to continue that. So when, we see men so quick to jump outside the race and have babies with anybody but a Black woman, because the Black woman right now, woof, it is hard to be a Black woman, okay? Because people have some feelings about us. They love us, okay? They love us, but they love to hate us too. The stereotypes around a Black woman, the stereotypes that I get because I don't fit the bill, of Black women, I just don't, but the stereotypes are crazy. So we have to reset, because why do I have to fit within the confines of your thought? Why? Why? If it's not working for us, we continue to wallow and mush through everything that's not right. So are you telling me that people in our lifetime, we can't get this right? Is that what you're telling me? I beg your pardon. We will get it right. And I hope to God that I see it in my lifetime. I'm going to work on it until we're going to work on it. One of my mentors, Reverend Jesse Jackson, he always says, keep hope alive. Shout out to Reverend Jackson. Shout out to everything that he's going through right now. Very, very strong man, next level man, a man I've worked for 15 years and saw the strength, saw firsthand, how quick his mind was. And then now he has Parkinson's disease. So life is short, people. Just a few short years ago, we were sitting down talking to Master P in 2019 before the COVID. We were, he's up walking, talking. And then now, he's confined to a bed and his Parkinson's is taking toll, but he's still there. He's still there. He still hears. They say that he's still squeezing hands. So that's a wonderful thing. So let's take a break here on Millennium News 24 on the group. I'm having a great time. This is the time that we can get it out. This time we can talk about it. So let's take a break and we'll come back right back with more of Jineea on the group here on Millennium News 24.
Welcome to Millennium News 24, your trusted source for accurate, unbiased news. We're here to bring you the stories that matter most from America and around the world with integrity and a commitment to truth. In today's world, where misinformation can easily spread, having access to reliable news is more important than ever. At Millennium News 24, we aim to cut through the noise by delivering clear, fact-based reporting. Whether you're following major events or looking for in-depth analysis, we are here to serve you with transparency and respect for all communities regardless of color, wealth, or religion. This beautiful America was built by the resilience of its people, immigrants, entrepreneurs, doctors, and everyday individuals working together to create something great. It's this spirit that inspires us to provide you with news that's inclusive, honest, and relevant. We believe that informed citizens are the foundation of a strong society, and we strive to give you the knowledge you need to make a difference. From breaking news to insightful features, we bring you comprehensive coverage on politics, economics, health, culture, and much more. We believe that everyone deserves access to the truth, and we are proud to be a part of a global network that connects people through information. Stay informed by following us on your devices, including iOS, Android, Roku, Amazon, Apple TV, and Smart TVs. And for global access, we're also available on Horizon Satellite. Visit us at www.millenniumtv24.com or www.millenniumnews24.com to stay updated at Millennium News 24. Our mission is to promote unity, understanding, and progress in a rapidly changing world. Join us as we work to inspire positive action through the power of truth. Thank you for watching. Follow us, subscribe, and stay informed.
And we are back for our final segment of our first show of On the Group. And I hope you enjoyed me today, my talking head today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Jineea all the time. I'm full of information and full of everything that that is. But we again, reset the mindset, reset the culture, reset the family, reset the behavior, reset the habits, reset the leadership, reset the priorities, and reset the purpose. And this is why I've always thought that President Trump was good, because I think he gives us time to reset. While he's doing all this wild stuff, and President Trump is doing wild stuff, I'm still a Republican. I still support Republican endeavors. He just took out the nursing as a profession and said that they're just doing that because they want to cut down the money that they're spending. But what are they doing? They're, less nurses and things of that nature. I guess they're talking about a population that doesn't include migrants and everything else, in that they, I don't know. But that's where we're at. I think President Trump, you are listening to a lot of people that have ulterior motives, and I think that you should hear everybody out. Shout out to Lynn Patton. I'm hoping that we have, a celebration at the White House, like they're doing the Hanukkah celebration in a couple weeks. But the urban reset is not political. Remember that. It's cultural. It's a cultural reset. You fix the culture, you fix everything downstream. We're the culture, people. Resetting is not starting over. It's starting correct. This is where we focus on ourselves. Where again, we could tell our kids, and we could tell our kids to, play this music and that this person, that person, we could tell our kids to be the smartest in the world. Now, we might need teachers to back it up. Now, I don't have children, so I would say if I did, I'd be homeschooling. But if I can't homeschool, then, school choice is, some people have school choice and some people don't. But whatever it is, put it in that child's mind that your job is to go to school and be the best by any means necessary. Don't care what happens. Any means necessary, meaning that you can't fight, you can't argue, you can't get distracted. Your job is to be the best. And that's how we have to focus on our children. And we have to protect them. They have to know that we're protected. There's no way in the world that a kid should be worried about carrying a gun because they're not protected in going to school. And if that's the case, then we need to reset and we need to up out of the projects and start again and give ourselves a new chance. Because this is not going to cut it, people. It's not going to cut it. This is not going to cut it. And I refuse to be at the bottom of the barrel. I refuse to walk in rooms and be the Black woman in the room that to them means nothing because we're not stepping up. We are stepping up and we will step up. I trusted us before and I still trust us today. We've got different facets of the community. Everybody's got to loosen up a little bit. Everybody can get money. Every other community is not stepping on one another to get money. So why are we? Why is that our focus? Why is that what we doing? It's ugly. We've turned distraction into a lifestyle and wonder why we're unfulfilled. We wonder why we're unfulfilled. If you didn't hear me, we wonder why we are unfulfilled. Doing a Dr. Umar. Okay? We wonder why we're unfulfilled. Dr. Umar saying it 10 times, right? Use the time to reflect, react, question everything. Use this time wisely, people, because we only have one life to live. Life is very short, and we've got to learn the rules to the game fast. While everybody else is doing XYZ stuff, we're partying. So maybe we got it right. I don't even want to say that we're wrong about that, because while everybody else is fighting wars and worried about money and this, we out partying and we out enjoying our lives. But we got to do better, people, because our kids need to be on the top. Our kids deserve the very best. I was one that my parents took care of me very well, and they cared and they poured their lives into me so I could be. But very often we don't see that happening. We don't see two people getting together and saying, well, this is our responsibility and we're going to raise these kids the best we can. Now, there's a lot of co-parenting going on, but there's a lot of hating going on too. There's all that baby mama drama and, the baby mama don't want to let the guy see the kid. That's because you hurt that woman. That's because that woman is hurt to her core, that she trusted you to have this child and you disrupted her life with a child and then left. Let's be real. And then you expect, well, she should just be happy that I'm paying child support or I'm coming around because no, No, she shared her body with you. And she wanted a family, like you said. And then you started calling her crazy for feeling like you were cheating on her, and you were. You can't do this to our community anymore. You have to be accountable, young men. You have to be accountable. You can't go throwing our women to the side. Young man told me the other day that he had a baby with his girlfriend because she already had a baby father, and he wanted seniority. He got the youngest baby. I ain't never heard that before, but that's what he said. So if this is why, and then now they're both cheating on each other. What the time that you spend cheating on each other could be time that you spend in getting money and focusing on education and focusing on leveling up. Because all that has a shelf life. Oh, that's not going to last forever. And I guess you're trying to get it in right now because it's not going to last forever. But good people, is it worth it? Is it worth not having, when you get older, is it worth not having the care that you need because you didn't take care of yourself? You didn't work hard enough to be in situation? We on the group. On the group. We are on the group. And we're talking about it. And we'll talk about it here every Sunday in between the football games. We're Sundays at 2, maybe 3, hopefully 3. After church, in between the football game. Come check me out. Subscribe. See us during the week. We on the group because I got stuff to talk about and I need to talk about it with you. When we talk about culture, we're really talking about home. We're talking about home. We're talking about all this here. Our emotional home. We're talking about our spiritual home. We're talking about our mental home. And if home is not stable, people, the community can't be stable. So if our emotional home, our spiritual home, and our mental home is not stable, our community can't be stable. And let me tell you, our emotional, mental, and spiritual home, it's not right. Most of you don't even want to love God, but God is there. You don't want to give him a couple hours out of your 7 days a week. Whatever you serve, if you serve Allah, if you serve Jesus, if you serve Buddha, serve something. Don't act like we're here by ourselves because we are not. And that's a fact. I don't care what you believe. There is a God. Now, if you don't take the time to get to really know and really see, that's on you. Okay. But we ain't going to need you to do something because we got to get this community right. So figure something out. So I want you to reflect as we go to, this was a quick hour. I want more. Do you want more? I want more. I want to talk longer. I want to run my mouth more. I want to run my mouth. But Wednesday at 1, I'll see you Wednesday at 1. If you're just tuning in, I'm sure that you could rewind this. But Wednesday at 1, what cycle am I continuing? This is what I want you to reflect on. What cycle are you continuing? What cycle do you need to break? Let's be real. This is a G check. What cycle? Is it the cycle of, having young babies? Is it the cycle of death? Is it a cycle of breakups in the house? What cycle do you need to break? What cycle are you willing to break? What cycle are you continuing? What cycle are you willing to break? Because when we say willing, it goes deep. I'm asking you to get real, people. Nobody's asking us to get real. Everybody's running around here faking. I'm tired of it. Don't talk to me. Because Jineea is a real one. And all that stuff that you harboring on your inside, I might G-check you on it. Who are you following? Remember, we're doing reflecting. Who are you following? And where are they taking you? This part is heart and humanity. So this is On the Group. I'm your host, Jineea Butler. For the culture, fix the culture, reset your mind, reset your habits, reset your home. And remember, stay focused, stay grounded, stay on the group. That's our show for today. I'll see you Wednesday at 1. It's a G-check.